Hey, welcome to the channel, Sean's Driveway. We're going to be working on the Crown Vic today. We got a project to tackle with the driver's side door. Bro was on me one day and I forced the key in the lock, and I think I actually knocked one of the rods off into the mechanism for the door. If you haven't already noticed, I'm recording with a brand new camera and I have a new mic setup as well. So hopefully this works out for you guys, and this is something that you guys like and enjoy. I wanted to update the production value for these videos. Let me roll into what type of tools that you're going to need in order to take off the door panel on an '89 Crown Vic. We'll get the ball rolling here. What we're going to be using for the project today is just this simple electric ratchet. We'll also go ahead and use an extension there. I do have a Pittsburgh mechanic set, and we can potentially use one of these bits. What would also be nice to have for this job is a door trim pry bar removal tool. So this way you can go ahead and get those plastic snap bits off in the door, because they're pretty brittle and it doesn't take much to break one of those things off. One thing I did forget to mention is that you're going to need a wrench to take off the positive battery terminal, so this way you don't short out any of the electronics when we're disconnecting the window and door switches. If I remember correctly, the positive is going to be at least a 12 or a 13. I will bring an 11 and a 10 just to be safe. Let's go ahead. We have to get in through the passenger side here. Open up that bad boy. Now go ahead. And what we want is to disconnect this positive terminal right there. Alright, so I was correct in the fact that this is going to be a 13 mil. Oof. Whatever you do, don't let the positive and the negative terminals touch with the wrench, because things go very badly. Alright, first thing that we're going to do here, take off this door panel, is remove the window switches. So I have my electric ratchet, we got our little extension here, and then an adapter, 3/8 to 1/4 inch. There's going to be one screw here towards the front. Let me go get a magnet tray. I'm back. Got our magnet tray. That's our first screw out. Then we can go ahead and pop this off now. That's super easy to do. There's a little clip back here that also holds. So this clip goes underneath here, and it just holds that there. So we can go ahead and put this off to the side. There are two screws, one there and then one right there. Just get to those bad boys, because that is helps hold this armrest onto the door panel. Go ahead and throw that other extension on, so you might want to have two extensions. Of course, I'm going to drop that washer. Oh, that'll be there. If you can, try to use the screw and pick up the washer with it, otherwise it's going to fall in between the door and it's going to be a pain in the butt to try to get out later. Cool. So these two screws have been undone. You have a few more. You have one underneath here. There's a center screw that holds in the trim bevel up there in the middle. Right underneath the door handle itself, there's another screw. And then on the wooden trim piece towards the front of the car, you have one there as well. Sometimes they'll fall into the door pocket if you're not being careful. Oh, I lied. There's one more screw here on the left side of the bezel. Alright, with all the screws out, what should happen is that the bezel or this trim is going to just fall out towards you. If it doesn't, be very gentle and try to just maneuver it out of there best you can. There's a light plug or a slot for the light here. All you have to do is rotate it counterclockwise, and that light will come off. Then you just slide this trim piece right off the door handle, and there you go. Now you have access to the other screws that are holding up the armrest. You have, depending on whether or not the door has been apart, this door has been apart many times, and I've actually lost the screws a couple times. There's two screws here on the left. Then you also have a screw there on the right. And for right now, I think those are the only ones holding it up at this point. If I remember correctly, yeah. So for me on this armrest, for this example, there's only two. You're also probably going to be doing this too. If there are any screws that I missed, then just go ahead and get them off the best you can. All right, so if you did it the easy way and you removed all of the control switches off of the panel here, then you wouldn't be dealing with this right now. But I'm being lazy, so you're just gonna gently guide the panel through the armrest. Right, rotate it just a little bit. Try to get the window switch out. Actually, the best way here: unscrew the window switch. Just unscrew it. Pop that out. Now you're able to move that. Get that out of the way. Alright. All this stuff will come apart. Gotta be gentle with it. Take your time. This is old stuff. There you go. So there's the armrest off. Put the little, I guess you could say this is a set screw or set piece. So you're at this point. Congratulations, we're not done yet. There are two screws on the door pocket that hold the panel onto the door itself. The screw here, like I said, this door has been apart many times, so that's visible there. And then you have one right there in the corner just to the right of the speaker. So pretty easy, comes out, no issues. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff in these in this door pocket. So now, where you can get your door trim removal tool, and you can just kind of just reach up in there, see where it stops, and just pry very gently. You don't want to rip the door panel apart, because this is, and also be careful of the speaker. This is just flimsy cardboard or some sort of wood like that. I've also done this a couple times, so it's pretty easy. And if you miss one, just take it by hand. Take it out by hand. It's not going to be that hard. Once you got everything undone, just go ahead and lift it up. I'll take a little convincer. Everything is off. Slide it on through. Cool. Throw that over there. You'll have this memory foam here. I taped it back up, but it's up to you whether or not you want to include that. I would, because that helps with the barriers and the weather and all that. Okay, so let's see what happened here. What exactly is going on? Alright, I'm going to take a look at this and figure out exactly what went wrong here, and then when I figure it out, pick this back up. What I can tell you, what I did figure out, I don't know if you could see inside there, there's a rod that goes up and down. There's about, let me see if I can get it here. So that rod right there, okay? There's actually two of them. You could probably barely just see the one in the back of it. The way that stuff works, okay, is that there's a mechanism down here in the corner. If you have to do this, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's at least 2 rods going up and down, okay? One is going to the key lock, which you will see, and then the other one is going to the actual latch mechanism itself. When one of those comes off, it'll actually prevent the door latch from pushing down, because when you lift up, it's like a counterbalance type deal where you lift up on the handle, it pushes the balance down, pushes the rod down, and the latch comes undone. That's pretty much how that looks like to work right now from what I can see. I'll just show you what it does. Close the door, right? What you'll notice, but here, that's where that secondary rod comes in. It pushes down on that rod, and that's what gives you the ability to unlock the door. One last thing I'm going to leave you with before we end this video out. In the case that you need to replace your window motors, so there are going to be 3 dimples here. These are your access points to go ahead and unbolt the window motor. So drill that out. Okay, those 3. You're going to have to remove the speaker. This is not factory, this is actually aftermarket speaker I put in here years ago, but you're gonna have to go ahead and remove that. I believe a 13-15 millimeter deep socket will actually fit into this. Don't remember what size, but you can figure out when you're doing it. Really simple. You don't have to hold the window up with anything, it'll stay up as well. As I'm putting the door back together, there are some things that I left out on the teardown. When you're putting this thing back together, if you don't line up the weather seal or that foam correctly, you just want to make sure that all of the holes that allow you to screw the screws into are exposed. There's one last thing. On the bottom, this guy right here, that bar or that rod is meant to go into the bottom piece. It's meant to go right in there. Now the reason why this is zip tied is because that is actually broken. So it's meant to sit into this little piece here, and that is meant to manually unlock and lock the door from the control panel here. Just make sure that you're gently taking this apart so you don't end up breaking the plastic like I did, and you'll be just fine. So that is how you take the door panel off. If you want to install the door panel, just follow those steps that you just saw and do everything in reverse. What I will tell you is to be careful about little push pin things. Make sure that they're seated into the door panel itself. Inspect the panel, double check your speaker, make sure everything is working, everything is connected. You should be good to go. It's a pretty simple process. You can do the process you have seen just now on the driver door with the rest of the doors. It gets even simpler because there's less components like the window switches and the control panel to remove. So there you go. Alright, that wraps it up for today's project on the Crown Vic. I appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. A lot of work has been going into these videos lately. And let me know what you think of the overall quality of the video now. The new camera and the microphone, I hope, is working out for you guys on your end. So let me know. If you have your own project, make sure you go outside on a beautiful day like today. Take a couple hours to sort out whatever you need to, and just have fun working on them. Alright, catch you in the next one.